I love to read a book and be absorbed in words to escape the life.
Hello everybody, so I have something to share with you that many of you have been pestering me about. I've been receiving comments for some time now asking me for book hauls. People are like, can you do a book haul? Do you have a book haul? I want to see a book haul. When will you show a book haul? And I've been answering everybody, well, I would gladly show you a book haul, but I have no money, and as I have no money, I can't buy books. And I've been requesting books from publishers, but not hearing back from anybody, really. So there have been no books to show because I have no means of getting books. Then last week, at the end of last week, I was informed that I would be receiving some long-awaited back payments from the government, bless them. I allowed myself today to go on a bit of a shopping spree. I should not have done it. There was absolutely no need for me to get more books. I have so many in my current collections that I have not read. Essentially, this is a book haul for you guys, and not really for me. I mean, obviously, I chose things I would be interested in reading, but really, it's mainly just to shut you up. I say that with plenty of love. In Booktubia, people love seeing hauls, and as I have not had one to show you for a very long time, I figured I should probably tide over your appetite, and this is going to have to hold you out for several months, I'm assuming. Hopefully this will make everyone happy and content. Please enjoy. Okay, first up, I did go to a second-hand bookstore the other day, and I spent $25, I think, and got 5 books. So, I mean, that's okay. In terms of getting to the really good cheap second-hand bookstores and cheap discount stores, you have to go to Sydney, essentially, and you know, that wasn't going to happen anytime soon, so this was the best option I had. Lara should be happy with me. I got myself The Mists of Avalon by Marion Zimmer Bradley, so hooray. Only the first one, but hey, I figured that's more than enough given that it's so friggin' big and the text is very small, and I know that Lara loves this series, so yay, got Mists of Avalon, hooray. I also decided to be brave, and I picked up Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, just the first one, again, because I'm not going to get the whole series. I would like to see how I handle this one. I'm not sure how I'll go with the content and the themes, but, you know, time will tell. I got The Dream Merchant by Isabel Hoving, and I got this mainly because it just sounds interesting. I believe it's YA fantasy. It could actually be middle grade, in fact, but I'm not sure. But, I mean, there's a snake circling a candle, and it's about dreams and markets in which you purchase dreams and such, and I thought, well, that sounds pretty nifty. So I got Cecilia Ahern's If You Could See Me Now. I don't mind her writing. I think in terms of, if we're going to use the derogatory term, chick lit, I think she's enjoyable, and I've got a few of her books so they can sit alongside this one. And I got myself a copy of Chocolat by Joanne Harris because I did, of course, own this novel, but I lent my copy to someone years ago and never got it back, and I can't foresee my getting it back anytime, so that's gone and lost. But I thought, well, I've got the 2 sequels and continuation novels that Joanne Harris wrote for Chocolat, so I may as well have the original as well, so they can all sit next to one another, so I grabbed it. Then I went into my local independent bookstore. They're very expensive. I only allowed myself to get 2 books from in there. Oh, 3 books. I grabbed 3 books from in there. Shadowfell by Juliet Marillier, because I've asked Penn Macmillan for a copy of this, but they've not gotten back to me and I was just too keen, so I grabbed it anyway. I think it's middle grade fantasy, but it's Juliet freaking Marillier, so I have to have it. I got myself a general fiction adult novel. It's The Colour of Tea by Hannah Tunnicliffe, and I'm getting it mainly because, rather like when I bought myself How to Eat a Cupcake, I like to get a feel-good-ish sounding sort of adult title so that I can kind of relax a little more when I pick up some of my general fiction, and this is going to sit alongside How to Eat a Cupcake because, of course, it's, you know, set in a cafe, and there's recipes and such in here too, which is awesome, and so I thought it would be nice if it could sit next to How to Eat a Cupcake and they can be my happy place reads of food, good times. So I do love cups of tea and sweets, baked goods and such, so just makes me happy thinking of it. I found this was on special actually. This was only $10, which for a, you know, an independent bookstore is very cheap over here, sadly. But this is Willful Impropriety, and it's 13 Tales of Society, Scandal and Romance. And there's a foreword in it by Scott Westerfeld. And there's YA authors have contributed. You know, it's one of the many anthologies of YA tales that have gone around and about. I'd love to grab some of them. Like, I'd like to get the Brave New Love, the dystopian romance collection, and there's a steampunk one I think as well. It just caught my eye because I did not know it existed, and Karen Healy, author of The Shattering and Guardian of the Dead, it has got a tale in here which I've already read and it was enjoyable. So, you know I love my costume dramas and my period pieces, so I thought it would be fun to get this. And okay, so today I went shopping again and I grabbed 5 books. So I've been going a little nuts, but okay, this is what I got. I got The Book of Blood and Shadow by Robin Westermann, and I've not heard too much about this, but checking some reviews on Goodreads, it's been getting some mixed stuff, some praise, but mixed for the most part. But I thought, it sounded okay for a title. I just thought I'd grab it. I was trying to grab titles that aren't too popular, if you like, at the moment, because for the most part the very, very, very well-known current YA titles I'm going to attempt to get for free for a review copy, so I'm going to try and, if I'm spending money, I'll try and get something a little bit different if I can. Yeah, people have compared this sort of to the Da Vinci Code sort of for teens, in terms of it's like a kind of fast-paced mystery element to it, and that for the most part I've read middling reviews, but give it a whirl. I've read some mixed reviews of this one, but it's fairy tale retelling, so it's called A Long, Long Sleep by Anna Sheehan, and and it's a retelling of Sleeping Beauty, but there's a sci-fi element to it, so, I don't know how it'll be, but I just thought I'd pick it up and see. This one I've certainly read mixed reviews on, but curiosity is getting the better of me because I just want to see how obvious the comparisons are going to be. It's A Brief History of Montmoret, and I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly, but it's by Michelle Cooper, and it's the first in a 3-part series, and it has a premise that sounds remarkably like I Captured the Castle, and almost all the reviews on Goodreads for it, be they positive or negative, have comparisons to I Captured the Castle, so I just would like to read it and just see how very like I Captured the Castle it actually is. This girl lives with her family in a crumbling castle on an island, and she writes down things that happen. The resemblance is rather uncanny, so I'm just curious if Michelle Cooper should be getting sued or something. Then I got The Apothecary's Daughter by Charlotte Betts, just because it sounded interesting and I liked the cover a lot. It's a historical fiction. Apparently there's some, feminist commentary in there, and I thought, well, that sounds cool. And then this one, I have heard mixed reviews about this for years, because it was released in 2002. But again, kind of like this one, curiosity was getting the better of me, so I just picked up Old Magic by Marianne Curley, and she's an Australian author, so, trying to be loyal here. Yes, so that was my book haul. Hope you appreciated it. I'm sorry that there aren't too many hip and trendy titles in there, but like I said, I'm trying to just get things that, interest me and are a tiny, tiny, tiny bit left field. What am I reading right now? I was trying to get through A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, but it was pissing me off with its twilightness, so I had to put it down. Hopefully I will return to it, because as I said, I spent a good deal of money on this bastard. As you can see, I'm colour coordinating the moments where I get angry or I think it's sexist. I had to put it down because I wanted to punch everybody, but I'll try and finish the damn thing. I'm reading The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafron, and I've had this for quite a while. I got it secondhand a few years back, and I've been determined to read it for quite some time, but I'm telling myself this is going to be the book I turn to when any of my YA titles that I'm trying to get through are pissing me off too much, because I'm enjoying it very much thus far. I'm 207 pages in, and I've been marking any time that there's cool quotes about books and such. I'm enjoying it. I really am. And I've always heard good things about it, and I know that there's another 2 books in this series, and eventually there will be a 4th, so hopefully I will enjoy it enough to continue with it. And that can be an adult series that I'm liking. This is the book I'm returning to as kind of a balm to any YA annoyance, I feel. I am trying to get through Carnival of Souls by Melissa Marr, but unfortunately it's shitting me to tears, but I want to finish it because it's just recently been released in Australia, so I should kind of get the review up and going. I'm not enjoying it very much, which is a right shame, because I was excited because it's Melissa Marr, and I got a free mask with it. And then Burn Mark by Laura Powell, I just picked up the other night because I didn't want to read Carnival of Souls at the time, and I'm 105 pages in, and thus far it's actually not too bad. It's a witch book, but there's a few interesting mythological elements they put in here, and the characters are halfway decent so far, so it's not terrible. I was sent for review from Marianne DePere for her channel. I was sent Edge of Nowhere by Elizabeth George. And it's somewhat interesting. I've not read all that much because it's falling apart, you see, because it was sent in a binder. The writing style was getting to me, though. It's odd. I can't describe it, but the writing style is getting really jarring, and I'm wondering if perhaps if it is an uncorrected proof, it doesn't say, but there's typos and things, there's odd sentence structures, there's metaphors that don't quite make sense, so I'm getting jarred out of it a lot of the time through the writing itself, but it's interesting enough, and in terms of like a paranormal story, paranormal YA story, it's got some originality to it, so that's okay. But it's just difficult to read because the damn thing's falling apart. Marianne also sent me Stage Fright, which is the latest in her Tara Sharp mysteries, and this is under her other pseudonym, which is Marianne Delacourt, and yes, I have to read this at some point. Even though it is part of a series, I think it can be read as a standalone. So thank you, Marianne, for sending me books, hooray! So that's my update and haul and such. And I do hope you enjoy. I'm sorry if I sounded harsh at the beginning, but I was just sick of everyone saying, we want a haul! If there are more books to share, if I do hear back from publishers and such, I will, of course, show you. That is all for now. Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Happy reading.